Okay. Alrighty. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen really quick. So, oopsies. Sorry about that. I had a whole bunch of alarms set, so I didn't forget everything this morning. All right, so today we are going to talk about key signatures. Woo! What are key signatures? They are just a way for us as musicians to know what scale, which is just like a set of notes that the composer is using without having to write in the flats or sharps every single time. So it's a pattern of notes that give us a fixed number of notes that when we use them together can help us write a cohesive piece of music. So if we've done composing before, we may have talked about key signatures. The two most common scales are major and minor. Those are the ones we are going to focus on today. There are other scales, but we don't need to know what they are right now. Okay, so what we are going to cover, there's a whole bunch more that we may get to in a different class, but we'll talk about those later. So we're going to briefly cover half steps, whole steps, tetrachords, major scales, using key signatures to find our key, the order of flats and sharps, building minor scales. We're actually not gonna, oh, we are gonna do this one, just kidding. Going from minor to major or major to minor, scale steps, and then Roman numerals. Anybody have any questions so far? We're all on the same page? Cool. Good, good, good. Okay. Half steps are any two notes with no notes in between. Who can find a half step on their keyboard? Okay. It looks like everybody can. Okay. So Arya, go ahead and find one first. Oh, turn on your original sound and then you can unmute yourself. And then I think Keslin did and then Julian did. So Arya, go ahead, play me a half step.
Okay.
Very nice. All right, Keslin, play me a half step. Oh, make sure your original sound is on, okay? Very nice. All right, and then Julian, play me a half step. Oh, is your original sound on?
Uh, I do not know how to even get into it right now since I'm on my mom's phone.
That's okay. Don't worry about it then. All right, just play it, and then I know you know what it means. So just play a half step. Very good. Okay. All right. Oh, perfect. Very nice. Okay. Now, once I send out the worksheet, I just got this finished a few minutes ago, so I apologize that I didn't send it out beforehand. But you'll put in the half steps down here. You can find a couple. All right, now let's talk about whole steps. Whole steps are going to go from, we're going to have one note in between them, basically. So two half steps. So if I start here, we go 1, 2. Does that make sense? Everybody on the same page with that one? Now, half steps, or whole steps, excuse me, can be from a white key to a white key, as we see right here, a black key to a black key, or a black key to a white key to a black key, or a black key to a white key. So just because something goes from a white key to a black key does not mean it's not a half step, and it doesn't, or a whole step, and it doesn't mean it is a whole step. You just have to count it. All right. So, who wants to play the first whole step? Keslin, go ahead. Very good. And then I think Julian had your hand up next. So play me a whole step.
Okay.
I think you did. Very good. All right. And then Arya, go ahead. All right. Very good. Very good. All right.
I'm scared.
That's all right. That's okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, now that we understand whole steps and half steps, do we understand whole steps and half steps? Everybody, yes, no? Thumbs up if you do. Perfect. All right, let's talk tetrachords. So tetrachords are the building block for scales. So let's talk about what a tetrachord is. So first, we're going to have our starting note. For this example, I just started on C. So we're going to put C. We're going to go up a whole step. What's a whole step up from C? Who knows? Julian, what is it?
D.
Very good. All right, then what's a whole step up from D? Anybody? Arya, do you know what's a whole step up from D?
Yeah,
What is it? And what is that note?
that is F.
Super close. So
Oh,
if D is here, I go up a whole step. What's that note?
oh, you're there with E.
E, very good. And then Keslin, what is a half step up from E? Oh, you're muted.
F.
Very good. Very good. All right. So, um, let's do, let's pick one of these, and let's do a tetrachord based on that one. So let's do this one right here. Okay. What would be, so we have, who knows the tetrachord pattern? Anybody? Julian, what's the tetrachord pattern?
Whole, whole, half, whole.
Very good, very good. So that the last whole step is something else. So just a tetrachord is whole, whole, half. Okay? All right, so we have our first note is D. What is a whole step up from D? Keslin, what is it?
E.
E, very good. All right, now this one's a little bit trickier. What's a whole step up from E? Julian, what is it? Julian, what is it?
Um, F sharp or G flat.
Very good, very good. Why is it F sharp instead of G flat, though? Do we know?
Because
Because what? Keslin, do you know?
Because it's the right because it's the right side of F.
It is. So, but why do we say F sharp instead of G flat? Does anybody know? And it is A-okay. Julian, what do you think?
if it was F sharp, then we wouldn't have F. But if it was G flat, then we would have F, but we wouldn't have G.
Very good, very good. So he brings up a really good point. When we are doing a scale, we have to follow our alphabet. We can't skip notes and we can't have two of the same note. Like we couldn't have G flat and G. So it's F sharp because our note before it was E, so we have to have some kind of an F. That's just how it works. Does that all make sense so far? Thumbs up if it makes sense, thumbs down if it does not make sense. Cool. All right. And then what is a half step up from F sharp? Keslin, what is it?
G.
G, very nice, very nice. All right. Who can play me ooh, let's try to build this tetrachord and then I want somebody to play it for me. So we know it goes whole. So we have our starting note. Whole, half. So there's 4 notes. So who can figure out what the next note is? So we have F. What's the next note? Anybody? Julian, what's the next note?
G.
G, very good. And what would be the next note after G? Keslin.
A.
A, very good. Okay, so we have G, A, and then Arya, what would be the half step up from A?
Uh, that B
Be what?
all B flat
B flat. Very good. Why B flat, not F, not A sharp?
because you already put A for one whole step, so you can't put it for.
Yeah.
You can't repeat those.
Absolutely. Very good. Very good. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are doing so great. I'm so proud of you guys. Now, learning tetrachords is really important, and I'm going to show you guys why. So, if I go and I do my first tetrachord, which we already did, so C, D, E, F, and then I go up a whole step and I do a second tetrachord, I get G, A, B, C. Okay. And if I put those two together, I get a C major scale. Julian, can you play me a C major scale? We've been working on that for our scales and technique, right?
Yeah. Is it the first one was just the C, D, E, F, G, F, E, or is it the long one?
It's the long one. It's the
Oh,
full.
both hands or only one hand?
You can do just one hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. All right. Okay, really good job, really good job. Now, what's really cool about tetrachords is if I take that second tetrachord that we just built and I start a new scale using that one as our first tetrachord, then I get a G major scale. So I have G, A, B, C, and then we go up a whole step, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, I'll play that one for us because I don't know if anybody has anybody here worked on the G major scale? The full, have you done the full G major scales or just the five finger?
I've
Julie,
done the blue one.
I'm not like completely sure on how to do it, but I'm working on it.
good, 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 good. All right, well, Julian, you want to give it a try?
Uh-huh, because I've done this one at least 2 or 3 times.
Awesome, I love it. Okay, let's try it. You can do just one hand.
Okay. Wait, wait.
That's okay. That's okay. We just need it going up. That was really good. Okay, now
A
if I
little bit more risky for me.
it's a little bit tricky. It is. Now, if I take that second tetrachord, what scale can I build off of that tetrachord? What do you think? So if the first scale was the C scale, the second scale was the G scale, what do we think this third one will be? What is it, Julian?
D scale?
The D scale. Now, what's really cool about the D scale is we not only have the F sharp, but we pick up another sharp. We get the C sharp. Okay? So each time we do this, as we move from one tetrachord to the next, and we start to build out these chords, we start to get a pattern of sharps and flats. Okay? And we'll do all of this probably another time, maybe in class or something if you guys would like. So let's talk now about the order of sharps and flats. And I'm actually going to start with the sharps, and we'll come back to the flats in a second. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Nope, this is something different. Hang on. Okay, this is the rules for sharps and for finding what our key signature is. So for flats, it's always the second to last flat. Now we always go this way when we're counting our sharps and our flats. Does this all make sense? Anybody have any questions so far? I know this is a lot and it's kind of early in the morning. All right, you guys are doing great. Okay, so what we want to do, so I've labeled them and I've made this one kind of a red color so that it's a little easier to see. So if our key signature is the second to last flat, what is this key signature? Does anybody know? Arya. Do you know what it is?
It's a key signature.
Yes. Do we understand what key signature it is?
Yeah.
Okay, what key signature is it?
So that's
Remember,
D.
it's lines. So D, and then we have a flat on it, so it becomes
So D flat.
E flat major. Very nice, very nice. All right, does everybody understand that? All right, so here are some other ones. This one's a little bit tricky. Why did it erase the flat there? I don't know. It's being weird today. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. So this one, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is as many flats as we can ever have. We will never have more in a key signature than this, but that's still a lot. So let's look at second to last. So this one is, we know that the spaces spell face. So what is this key signature? This one's a little bit tricky. Anybody know? Julian, what is it?
D flat
C
major.
major. Does that make sense so far? Does anybody have questions about that? Okay. All right. In that case, let's go down here, and I have a couple other ones that I want us to see if we can figure out. All right. So I'm just going to call on you guys, and I want you to do your best to figure it out. Okay. So, Keslin, let's figure out what this one is. Oh, you're muted.
C.
Ooh, it would be C if we were in base clef. Remember, the spaces spell a word. What word do they spell?
A.
A what?
Flat.
A flat. A flat major. That was really good. Good job. Good job. All right. Aria, you're up next. What's this one?
That one is E. E
E.
flat major.
E flat major. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So far, so good. Does everybody understand this? All right. And then we'll do one more. So, Julian. Now, this one's a little bit tricky because I didn't have it. I didn't the different color, so it's not going to help you that way. But if you need help with it, let me know and I'll help you with it.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
A flat major.
E flat major. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Any questions about flat major key signatures? All right. Now you'll notice that most of these, in fact, all except one, we'll talk about that in a second. All flat key signatures, if it's major, are going to have flat in the name. There's one that doesn't, but we'll talk about that one later. Julian, did you have an idea?
I know that there are the two exceptions, and I know why you said about that not all of the flats have the name flat in it.
Very good. Very good. We're not quite to the exceptions yet, so keep that. I love that you're thinking of that though. That's awesome. And I'll ask you to help me when we get there, okay? Thank you for letting us know that. I love that. And I love that you guys made that connection. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about sharps. So the rule for sharps is a little different than the rule for flats. So it's really important to remember that these are two different rules, okay? Sometimes we get them confused. So I really want us to know the differences and have them really, really set apart, okay? And I can give you guys a little bit of a trick that I use when I'm trying to figure out if which rule I have to follow. So for sharps, I'm going to go to the last sharp, then I go over to the keyboard, and you have to go up a half step, and this is our key name. So there's an extra step for sharp that is not there with flats. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, awesome, awesome. Keslin, is this making sense so far? Cool. All right. So, this one, our last sharp is what? What is this sharp? Julian, what's it? What is it?
D sharp.
D sharp. Very good. And Arya, if we go up a half step from D sharp, what is it?
Half a step up from D sharp.
Mm-hmm.
E.
E major. Very good. Very good. Okay. So if we look here, the same kind of thing happens. So we have our last sharp, and then we go up a half step. So this sharp is what? Who knows what this sharp is? Julian, what is it?
A sharp.
A sharp. Very good. And then Keslin, if I go up a half step from A sharp, what is it? Oh, and you're muted. You gotta unmute yourself first. Go ahead. What is it? What is it? Do you know?
I need help.
Okay. All right, so we have A sharp. So if we look, A sharp is going to be this one. So remember, sharps always move the note that way, right? So if this is A, this is A sharp, right? So far, so good? You with me? And then we're going to go up a half step from that. And now we're on what?
B.
Very good. So this is the key of?
B.
B major. Very good. All right. Does this all make sense? Anybody have any questions about this? Do we understand how to find sharp key signatures? Give me a thumbs up if you do, or a thumbs down if we're not quite sure and we need some more help.
Like, I do know how to do it now, but it's just a little bit hard to remember.
It is hard to remember, and that's why we're doing this class. So if it well, and we'll do a couple examples as well, okay? So I do not so what I expect is for us to understand this stuff better. What I do not expect is that after today you will never have problems with sharps and flats and key signatures again. We will probably still have some trouble, but the goal of today's class is to just help us so that we understand even just a little bit better and we can kind of comprehend it a little bit more. Okay? That's my goal. So my goal is not to have you go and do your tests and get perfect scores because you're like, oh my gosh, Miss Nancy's a genius. Okay? That would be nice, but that's not my expectation. But I love that you guys are thinking about this and that you're acknowledging that this is tricky stuff. It is. This is not easy. Okay? All right. So I provide us a keyboard here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple together because this one I think is a little trickier than the flats, right? Flats is pretty easy. You go second to last and you're like, oh, that's my name. We don't have to go anywhere more, right? Does that make sense? Okay. So first off, let's figure out what the last sharp in this one is. So who knows what the last sharp in this key signature is? Julian, what is it?
D sharp.
D sharp. Okay, so D sharp is here. So far, so good. Everybody with me? Yeah? Okay. And then we're going to go which direction to find our key name? Who knows? Julian, which way?
Up or in your keyboard, right.
Very good. Yes. So that brings me to a good point that I forgot to tell you guys. Hopefully, we've talked about it in classes, but up equals right. Up equals right, and down or lower equals left, right? Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that so far? Keslin, what's your question?
And it's not a question, but when I did it with you, you thought like you showed me this.
Oh, good. I love that you're remembering that and you're remembering what we did in class. That's awesome. That is really, really good. Okay, so let's figure out what the last, so we know what the last sharp is. So then we have to go up a half step. So if this is our last sharp, what note is up a half step from this one? Keslin, what is it?
E.
E. So this is the key of?
E major.
E major. Very good. Okay, now this next one is a tricky one. So we're going to go through that one together as well. Okay, so if I look at the last sharp, what sharp is that? Julian, what is it?
I need to see if this is even a thing real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I need to redo it. I'm guessing.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh, B sharp.
Very good. So B sharp. So this is why I wanted to do this one especially together because this is a weird one. We get into some really weird key signatures the more sharps and flats we get. So he is absolutely right. This is B, but this is B sharp. Why is that B sharp? How is that B sharp? Julian.
Because the sharp is one half note up or to the right on keyboard, and it technically is still B sharp.
It is B sharp. Arya, do you have an idea?
Also, there's no note in between. So.
There's no note in between. Absolutely. You guys are both right. Absolutely. There is no note in between. So therefore, C is the same note as B sharp. When we have notes that have the same sound or the same place on the keyboard, but we have two different names for them, we have a special name for that. That is called enharmonic. You guys do not need to remember that unless you want to, but that is what that's called. So those are enharmonic. Now that we have B sharp, which is this note, we have to go up a half step. So what is our key signature here? I'm trying to see whose hand was up first. Arya, what key signature is this?
D flat.
Oh, it can't be D flat because it's sharp. So what is it?
It is C sharp.
Sharp. This is the key of C sharp major. Julian, did you have a comment?
No, it's just that. Well, yeah, now I kind of have a comment after that, like C sharp. Most sharp, most sharps you are going to see are going to end with whatever letter and then major. But this one it goes whatever letter. Well, there are only two letters that this could be, and then it's basically a sharp. Even though you had a sharp, and then you have another sharp.
I know. So absolutely, that is a really good observation, and I'm really impressed that you came to that observation. So there are only two sharp key signatures that have sharp in the name. One is C sharp major, and one is F sharp major. And that looks like a really weird F sharp. So if we have 6 sharps, it's F sharp major. If we have 7, it's C sharp major. And those are the only two that have sharp in the name. So very good, very good. Okay, really good. You guys are making some really, really great observations. You guys are understanding this. These are more examples. All right. Now, Julian, you mentioned this earlier. So what are our two exceptions?
Um, if there are no sharps, no flats, it is C major. But if there's one little sharp and
Oh, not sharp, not sharp.
I mean one flat, but when you were saying ago, there was one of them that didn't have it, the second to last. This one doesn't even have a second to last. And so this one is F major with only one flat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very good, very good. And here are some more examples that we can do. Why did it cut out the sharps and flats? I put them in there. That's really weird. I've never seen it do that before. Okay, so now let's talk about the order of accidentals, okay? So this is how the sharps and flats show up, and they will always show up in this order. Why? I don't know. It just so happens that if we go through all the tetrachords the way that we did, this is how the sharps and the flats show up as we go through the tetrachords. Keslin, did you have a question?
You can memorize these, but bead, and because it's BEAD, bead, and then GCF, BGCF.
Very good. Very good. Absolutely. And I like to remember it by saying bead, good, clean, fun. I don't know why. That's just the way my brain remembers it. Okay. So, the next one is the sharps, order of sharps. So if we remember back to the beginning, the first sharp that we saw was F sharp. The second was C sharp. So this is the order that they will always show up in. Okay, so this is F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Does anybody notice something kind of interesting about the order of sharps and order of flats? Julian, what do you notice?
Notice that they're in the order of what to pattern you play the chord the scales, like, because the highest note is going to be the start of the next one, and it goes in that same order.
Very good, very good. Keslin, what do you notice? Oh, you're still muted.
I see that the B in the first page and the B in the second page both switch places. The B is first and now the B is last, and the F over there is last and now it's first. And same thing with the E. It's the same thing just like the B, and then the the C is same thing like the F, and then the A is same thing like the B and E, and the G is same thing like the F and C, and the G and the G and D.
I mixed those up. Hang on. Very good, very good. So it's exactly the same,
The D stay the same,
except backwards.
but the D stay the same.
Very good. Arya, what you gotta say?
So, like, is the B, E, A, D, G, C, F, like, the start of it and then the end of it is repeating? It's an F, C, G, D, A, E, B?
So kind of. It does kind of seem like it's repeating, but if you look, it's like this one is going this way, and this one is going this way. So they're exactly backwards from each other. Isn't that crazy?
Uh,
It's kind of wild, isn't it? All right. I'm going to take a quick picture of this so that later we can put it in.
oh, yeah, and what is the, like, second one called?
This
Or,
is the
like,
order of sharps.
okay.
Did you have a question? I really am impressed also, Arya, that you're taking notes. I really appreciate that. Cousin, what you got?
I don't have a question, but if you remember one of those pages, you could just flip them and make sure the D stays the same, and then you'll memorize the other one.
That's absolutely true. Very good. Very good. Okay. And once I get this sent out, you can you can trace them and then you can learn to write them on the staff. Arya, what you got?
The reason why I'm taking notes is because Avigna has another class, so.
Oh, so you're taking notes for Avigna. Oh, that's so nice of you. Awesome, awesome. And this, I will be putting this on YouTube, so if she wants to, she can also go ahead and watch that as well. But I'm really impressed. I'm very impressed that you're taking notes. And that's also very kind of you to be taking notes for your sister. Ah, forgot to fix that page, so ignore that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, minor keys. So now that we know how to find our sharps and our flats and our two exceptions, what are the two exceptions? Who remembers? Julian, what are the two exceptions?
If there's no sharps or flats, it's C major. If
Oh,
there's one
C major, what is it?
C major.
Oh, C major. I'm so sorry. Zoom is being weird today. Okay, keep going, keep going.
And then if there's one flat, is F major.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Very good, very good. Okay, so now that we know that, let's talk about how to go from major to minor. Now, we always have to find major first because we have the rules to find major. We don't have rules to find minor. We have a shortcut to find minor. Okay, so here's the rule to go from major to minor. So we know from our earlier page that the second to last flat is our key name. So this is the key of, who knows? Arya, what is it?
Like, major?
So what major? Very good.
D major.
D,
Flat major.
D flat major. I don't know why it went through and erased all the flats and sharp signs. Because I put them all in. That is really weird. Okay. So we know that this is the key of D flat major. Okay, now we're going to go through and we're going to go down 3 half steps. So 1, 2, 3, and this is our key. So what is this key signature? What note is this? Anybody have an idea? Arya, what is it?
It's A sharp.
Very good, but we can't mix sharps and flats, so what would it be?
A minor. A sharp minor.
So we can't mix sharps and flats. This is a
Okay.
flat key signature. So what is it?
A minor.
Nope. So A minor would be here. We need this note. So you're on the right note, but what's the other name for this note?
Oh wait, is it like G or no B flat major?
B flat. Not B flat major.
Oh, B flat minor.
B flat minor. Very nice. Very good. And then Julia, did you have a comment or anything?
No.
You were just gonna say B flat minor?
Mm.
Nice. I love it. Okay. Awesome, awesome. And again, I don't know why it deleted all the sharps and flats. I'm gonna have to fix that before I send this to you guys. Keslin, did you have a question?
Not a question. I think I know your answer. The answer to the question.
Okay, so
The,
what's the answer to this question?
no, the one that you said. I think Zoom was being weird and deleted all of your the things,
Oh,
the major, you
oh,
know the
okay,
the.
so why did they do that, do you think? Oh, I don't know either. It's being weird today. Julian, what's up?
Never mind.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just because I thought that was going from D major, but then I saw the B minor at the bottom of the staircase.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, it's kind of small. Very good. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So this is one of our 2 exceptions. What is this major? Julian.
D major.
D major. Now, if we go down 3 half steps, what is that key signature? So we go C. Who knows? Oops. Julian, what is it?
I think it's A.
A what?
Um, A minor.
A minor. Very good. All right, does this make sense to everybody so far? Yes? Perfect. Okay. All right. Very nice job. Very nice job. Okay, let's do a couple of these. And then we're doing really, really great. You guys are flying through these. These are awesome.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. So this one, so we remember who remembers the sharp rule for finding majors? Julian, what is the sharp rule?
Find the last sharp and then go up a half step and then do that letter, then major.
Very good, very good. Okay, so let's find this one. So last sharp would be this. So who knows what sharp that is? Okay, Julia knows. Who else?
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
Crickets don't know. No, I'm just kidding. All right, and then Arya knows. Keslin, do you know what sharp it is? Or what the last sharp is? You got it? Kind of, sort of? Okay. All right, and then Julian, what is it?
Sharp.
D sharp. Very good. And then Arya, what is our key signature if this is our last sharp?
Uh, it is E.
E major. Very good. So we get E major, M-A-J. All right, and then if we go down 3 half steps, so let's come up here for a little bit, and we go E. We're gonna go down 3 half steps. So we go 1, 2, 3. This is our new note. So what is our minor key signature? Aria, what is it?
Uh, it is C minor.
See what?
Uh,
We would be here.
uh,
C
C sharp minor.
sharp minor. Very good. Very good. M-I-N. Sometimes you'll even see if they are writing this, you'll see this, and that means E minor, and this would mean C sharp, or this is E major, this would be C sharp minor. So sometimes they'll write a big M to mean major, and sometimes they'll write a little m to mean minor. Does that make sense? Cool. Keslin, does this all make sense so far? Awesome sauce. Okay, let's do this one. This one's a little bit tricky. Okay, so we have D flat. We go back a half step, or back, not a half step, back one. What is this major key signature? Julian, what is it?
A flat major.
A flat major. Okay, now if we go up here, we're gonna go A flat. We go down 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. And what is this minor key signature? Anybody? Julian, what is it?
F minor.
F minor. Very good. Keslin, did you get F minor too? Nice! That is awesome. Good job, good job. Now, again, I do not expect you guys to be scale experts after today. I just want us to be able to understand scales a little bit better. All right, this is minor scale pattern. So, unlike the major scale, there's not one like tetrachord that I can show you that then you repeat just because minor is just a different, yeah, it's just different. So unfortunately there is a pattern, but there's not really a pattern. Um, okay. So the pattern for minor is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So I guess if you had to have a pattern, it would be half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. But then we start with a whole step. I don't know. That's the closest thing I got to a pattern. Okay. All right, so this is the pattern on this keyboard. Um, any questions about that? Keslin, did you have a question?
Not a question, but a comment. How you can remember the pattern is woof, ha, woof, woof, ha, woof, woof.
Ah, I like it. I like it. I like it. So yeah, that is a good way to remember it. All right, let's do another example. All right, so E is our starting note. So this is the key of E minor. Okay, we're going to go up a whole step. So what would be the next note in our key, in our scale, in our minor scale? Who knows? Julian, do you know?
Not right now.
Okay, that's okay. So remember, a whole step is just two half steps. So one, two. There's no note here, and there's no note here. Okay, so this would be our second note. Does that make sense? Keslin, did you have a question or an idea?
Is it F something with F?
It is F. F what?
F sharp?
F sharp. Very good. Absolutely. All right. Then our next one, we're going to go up a half. Oops, excuse me. Up a half step. All right. So what's our third note? Keslin, what is it?
G.
G. Very good. All right. Then we're going to go up a whole step. Keslin, what's the next note?
A.
A. Very good. And then another whole step. And then Arya, what's this next note?
That's B.
B. Very good. All right, then we go up a half step. So, Julian, what is that next note?
B.
So I have to get. Can I get excused for? I have to go to a math class. So
Absolutely, absolutely. It was wonderful to see you. I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend, okay?
okay, bye.
All right, good job. All right. And then Julian,
C.
what is it?
C. C.
C, very good. And then Keslin, what's our next note?
D.
D, very good. And then Julian, our very, very last note.
E.
E, very good. All right, very good, very good. All right, and then there are more examples down here. We are going to pause it here today because I don't think we can get through the last couple parts of it today. But we made it through almost everything that I had planned for today. So you guys did so fantastic, and I am so proud of all of you. You guys did an amazing job. Do we feel like we understand key signatures better?
Kind of.
Kind of. That's good. Julian, do you feel a little bit better? Do you feel like you understand how to find our major key signatures faster and easier? Yes, no? Yes? Keslin, yes, no, maybe? Kind of, sort of? Kind of. And that's okay. That's okay. Our goal is not necessarily to be perfect experts right away, because this is tricky stuff. Piano is a tricky thing, and it takes a lot of time. So, you guys are both doing fantastic. Ari was doing fantastic. I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you guys for coming to my workshop today. I hope you had a lot of fun. Anybody have any last minute questions? Nope. Yes, no, maybe so. All right. Well, then have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye. Goodbye.